This radio show is brought to you by All In Cincinnati. All In Cincinnati, an equity coalition, is sponsored by BI3, Greater Cincinnati Foundation, the Carol Ann and Ralph V. Hale Jr. Foundation, Fifth Third Foundation, Interact for Health, and the United Way of Greater Cincinnati. Thanks for tuning in.
We're all in together now. We're all in together now.
Hello, and welcome to the All In Cincinnati radio show, where we are all in it together to eliminate disparities and inequities for Black women in Hamilton County. I am Denisha Porter, and I am honored to serve as the Executive Director of All In Cincinnati and your host for our episode today about entrepreneurship. Black women are drawn to entrepreneurship for many reasons: innovation, flexibility, culture, wealth potential, low barriers to entry, and passion. According to J.P. Morgan Chase, Black women are the fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs in the U.S., with nearly 2.7 million businesses nationwide. That said, given a lack of access to capital, Black women are more likely than other demographic groups to self-fund their businesses. Fortunately, three amazing Black women who have devoted their careers to helping small, disadvantaged minority and women-owned businesses in Greater Cincinnati launch and thrive are joining us today. Our first guest is Briston Mitchell, Director of Transformative Initiatives and Relationships at the Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky African American Chamber of Commerce. As Ohio's largest African American chamber, Briston's team provides business education series, marketing programs, and networking events to grow your business. Our next guest is Valeria Cummings-Swope, Development Manager in the Department of Economic Inclusion at the City of Cincinnati. In this role, Valeria works to ensure economic opportunity and inclusion for all citizens seeking to do business with the city and catalyzes the growth of minority and women-owned businesses in the city and throughout the region. And finally, also joining us is Roycelle Parker, Development Manager and Bookkeeper at Mortar Cincinnati. Since 2014, Mortar has aimed to create diverse communities by enabling historically marginalized entrepreneurs to access the resources needed to start and run successful businesses.
Thank you. It's great to be here. And I won't hold it against you that you said my name wrong, but...
Again, did I try?
It's Roycelle.
Roycelle?
Like Rolls Royce, that expensive car.
Oh, I love it.
You said you know nothing about.
Well, I'm going to try my best throughout the show.
I appreciate it. Just kidding.
No problem. Well, welcome, Queens, and thank you for joining the All In Cincinnati radio show for our discussion today about entrepreneurship, opportunities, and resources for Black women in Hamilton County. So let's get started. I shared your names and titles, but can you tell me a little bit about yourselves? Or we'll go back with Roycelle. Is that right? Yay!
You did a great job.
Okay.
So, yes, I have been with Mortar for 5 years. I also am an entrepreneur. I have my own business on the side called Excel Administrative Services. So I've kind of know both sides of entrepreneurship and what it takes to run a business. So I'm just happy to be here. I'm married and a mother
Yay.
of 2 grown children and 3 grandchildren.
Grown children? How grown?
Very grown to have children.
Hilarious.
No, both of them are doing well. I'm very proud of them and just melt when I lay eyes on my grandchildren. So.
Oh, how old are they?
Rain is 1 year old.
Oh, I love the name Rain.
My granddaughter Zion is 17.
Oh,
And my granddaughter Kaya is 9.
beautiful. All right. I won't ask you any more questions.
Stay on the script. Honey.
Valeria, how about you? Can you introduce yourself to everyone?
I've been with the City of Cincinnati just over 8 years.
Ooh.
I was brought in when the City of Cincinnati was creating the Department of Economic Inclusion. Mm-hmm. So I've been here since the department was created. Mm-hmm. And my job is to help minority, women-owned small businesses to get certified with the city, and then to help them find opportunities with the city and with city-related entities. So once they get certified, I help to disseminate information about contract opportunities, and then people also share with me outside opportunities, because a lot of businesses in Hamilton County, they have inclusion goals, but they don't do certification. So they'll share information with me about opportunities, and then I share that with those who meet the different things that they're looking for. So if they're looking for engineers, if they're looking for people who do grass cutting, if they're looking for attorneys, if they're looking for whatever it is, they'll send it to me and they'll say, do you have anybody in your database, or will you share these opportunities out? So then I share it out with those in our database that meet those different qualifications.
Okay. You're the connector.
Yes, I'm the connector. I also have two grown children.
That's the grown children.
Yes. My son just got married a year ago. He lives with his wife in Oklahoma City, and they're expecting their first child in June. Yay. And then my daughter lives in D.C., and she and her husband both just got their doctorate degrees, so now they're doctor and doctor.
Ooh.
And so I'm excited about them. And so I'm the one that lives here, and both my kids live away. So it gives me some place to go and travel and see.
Yes, definitely. Yep. I used to travel to D.C. a whole lot, so I miss those D.C. days.
It's a wonderful place to visit.
It is. It is.
My daughter and her husband are in D.C.
Oh, so the grown children are in D.C. Mm-hmm. Hilarious. All right, and last but not least, Briston.
Welcome. So I've been with the Chamber. I'll be hitting 2 years in May with the African American Chamber, and I manage their programs and events. Mm-hmm. I'm also the connector for the African American Chamber. I make sure people get connected and provide transformational experiences, transformative initiatives and relationships is my title. And then I manage a lot of projects and things like that. So my background, I have merchandising background. I worked for Kroger for almost 10 years. I have accounting background, and I have some supplier diversity in my background as well. So I'm kind of like a Jackie of all trades. I
love that. I'm gonna start using that.
Yes. And I am also married, and I have, shout out to the hubby.
Yes,
and
always shout out to the hubby.
Yes, 2 teenagers. They both go to performing arts.
Aww.
I have a senior getting ready to graduate and go off to college.
Okay. So semi-grown, not grown.
Right. They act like it.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, well, entrepreneurship is such a broad subject. Today, we will focus on the resources available to Black women in Hamilton County to launch and grow their businesses. So what resources are available to assist aspiring business owners, women with an idea and a passion, but no sales or infrastructure? Who wants to speak first?
I can go.
All right.
So Mortar offers a 15-week entrepreneurship program to those who have a business idea, or they may already be in business and just want to strengthen the knowledge that they have about business. So what we do is we have our own curriculum that we offer that's specific to the African American male and female, because that's what our focus is for our mission. Mm-hmm. We bring in subject matter experts that speak on everything from accounting, marketing, how to pitch your business, how to price your product, all of those different things. We also, with the students, we pair them up with a mentor.
Nice.
From SCORE. SCORE is a group of retired business executives that have been successful in business. And while they may not be a passion mentor to the student, they do have enough business knowledge and business savvy to provide any answers to any questions that they may have. So the SCORE mentor walks side by side with the student throughout that 15 weeks and for as long as they desire to be in relationship with that mentor. One of the interesting things that we do, we normally have 2 classes that go on simultaneously so that we can invoke a little bit of competition.
Oh, really? really?
So within each class, we have a pitch competition internally, and the top 5 students from each class get to compete at graduation for prize money.
Oh, nice.
So we, try to keep the students motivated and encouraged. What I loved about it, because I was also able to go through the program, which is how I started with Mortar, because I went to pitch my business to start the classes, did my homework, and discovered they needed an office manager. So I went in with my pitch, because my business is administrative services. Right. So I'm like, hey, you need an office manager? Look no further, because I'm right here.
Pitch myself.
So I wound up getting the job and being able to go through the program. But what I loved about it is that you're in a room full of like-minded individuals who are trying to further their cause, whether it be that they're in business already, they have a business idea. People were asking questions that I would have never known to ask.
Really?
And so it was just wonderful to be able to sit with a room full of people and not only ask questions, but hear questions that make you go, oh, wait a minute, I'm glad they asked that. So that's what I love about the Mortar program, is that we are serving our community, because especially women, because we've been underserved for so long that we walk side by side. One thing I did forget to mention is that once the student graduates, we actually walk with them for free for 18 months. We sit down with them and say, now that you've gone through the course, what do you need? Are you trying to start a brick and mortar? Do you need equipment? What are the things that you need so that we can help you walk through this process for 18 months? Wow. So we're very excited about that. But there are definitely resources and opportunities out there.
Beautiful. So 18 months, over a year that you stay with that person.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And we do it even further. We have an extension of that if the alumni purchases a membership, is really cheap.
How much is it?
It is $120 for a year.
Okay.
We shoot them all of the information that we have, the different resources that come across our desk. They get that information. If they need training, if they need workshops, the city of Cincinnati and Valeria did a workshop with us last week.
Awesome.
Regarding being certified. So whatever the alumni of our program need, they come to us and say, hey, we need training in this, or how about a workshop on that? Then we work to bring in the experts to come and talk about those various things.
I love it. Do you have anything else to add, Valeria, to that?
Well, I want to just spin off what Roycelle said, and that is that once a business becomes active and is ready to take that next step. When we did the workshop for them, we talked about getting certified, because that's another step that they can take once they're established and ready to move.
Right.
Then we move into that next step, which is certification, because that gives them the opportunity to let other companies know who they are, what they do, and that they're out there. And I always say to companies that get certified that you're a great company that just happens to be minority owned, or you're a great company that just happens to be woman owned. It's not that you're a minority company that does. Right. You're a company that is something that just happens to be. So it's an extra tool in your toolbox. Gotcha. And that gets you out there, and it gets you the opportunity to get your foot in the door. And then people get to see what you do. And so sometimes we need that extra step up to get our foot in. And it makes that difference, because once we get our foot in and they see that we're good at what we're talking about, then we get those other opportunities. So it's a door opener for us. And so I think that's a big part, is once you get your company going, get certified. Let your light shine. Let people know who you are. Some people say, well, I don't want to be certified, because I don't want people to think I don't want that use that as an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's a advantage
It's an advantage.
that
That's
you need
it.
to take advantage of, because it gets you that opportunity for people to see you, for people to use you and know you, get to know who you are, see that you're able to do what you say you do, and then they'll use you. And the other thing is, once they start using you, they tell other people about you. So they share that information.
Right, they become champions for you. I totally get it. So let me switch gears a little bit. So what services are available to assist Black women specifically in Hamilton County with gigs, hobbies, and side hustles with some demand or sales, but not infrastructure? I'll kick it over to you.
All right. So at the African American Chamber, naturally, we support everyone, women, businesses, and we have our pivot business counselors, and they have specialties in different areas, and they have technical assistance counseling. We bring in subject matter experts as well through our business basics programs on all topics. And then right now, I am working with Jill, the president and CEO of Aviatra Accelerators. They're a nonprofit like the African American Chamber, and they enable women to start and grow their business. They provide resources as well. They have offices in Northern Kentucky, Dayton, and Cincinnati. And then we also partner with SCORE and have SCORE mentors help our businesses as well. So,
Does SCORE stand for anything? Does anybody know?
ooh, that's a good one.
That's okay. What is the part about, you said side hustle without the hustle? What's the without the hustle part? What does that mean?
So when it comes down to it, there are some basic steps to get your business started. So you don't have to cloud yourself with all the additional things that you think you need to do. It gives you some guidance and confidence in taking that idea and bringing it into a business platform. So in that, the workbook that that's provided, it gives you every step of the way. It talks about certification. It talks about getting registered with the state. So it does a deep dive, and it helps you narrow your focus down on getting that business started and out there, because that's normally the first leap, taking that leap. And we want to encourage you to do that.
Awesome.
And I want to say that one of the things I really like about Cincinnati and economic inclusion and all of that is the fact that we all work together. We have this synergy that goes on. So we have this, what we call a small business network, so to speak, and where the Chamber, Department of Economic Inclusion, Department of Community and Economic Development, the ODOT, SBA, we all meet together quarterly or so, and we come up with things that we want to do, things that we can work together on, because our concept is we don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
There are things that the Chamber does that we send people to. There's things that we do, the Chamber sends people to us to do, because we don't need to all be doing the same thing and just being repetitious about it.
Right,
we
right.
talk, we say, okay, what is it that we can do? What is it that our small businesses are telling us they need? And then we spark an idea, we bring it to fruition, and then we pivot off of that into something else. And it really works out well because we find that we're stronger together than we are separated.
Yes, definitely.
And we have there's a new financial workshop that's getting ready to start that Deborah Davis with the Chamber is kicking off. And I can't think what it is right off. I'm losing. Assets over liability.
Okay.
And she brought us together. She had this idea. And so we talked about it as a group. She said, this is what I want to do. Can you give us some insight? We talked about it. We came together over it. It actually kicks off, I believe, the end of this month. And
so it's coming up soon.
They meet once a month or so for the next 4 months, the pilot project is actually kicking off the end of this month. And then once we go through the pilot, then we'll see how it goes after that. But it was a concept that Deborah had. And then she brought it to the group. We talked about it. We're working with SCORE once again. We're working with SCORE. SCORE is going to be our mentors on this project.
Okay.
And but it was a concept that came up, and we worked with Deborah. So the chamber's hosting it. The partners are working with her, and it's another program that's coming up. So this is something that we do as a small business team, because we know that these programs are going to help our small businesses, our women-owned businesses, our minority businesses grow and prosper. And that's the number one thing we want to do.
Yes, All in Cincinnati supports Black women-owned businesses, so I love that. So really quickly, you said assets over liabilities. What does that mean, like in one sentence?
Assets over liabilities means how much you bring in over how much you don't have.
So we'll start with Roycelle. I think you wanted to say a little bit about gigs, hobbies, and side hustles.
Yes, I wanted to touch base on, too often especially in our classes or just in general, our community, because we do the gigs, we do the hobbies, and we do the side hustles. Oftentimes there's pressure that you have to be a full-blown business in order to be successful. And I just wanted to say that there is no pressure. Whatever it is that you're doing, it depends on you how big you want that to be. If you want to just do a gig on the side, just do a gig on the side. If you want to just be a side hustle and not a full-blown certified business, then be that. But there's no pressure. And one of the things that we encourage is that we want to provide you with the information that you need to become successful. And you can become successful as a gig or as a full-blown business. And so that we try very hard to remove that pressure. And one of the things that we do highlight during the class is that whether it's a gig, a side hustle, or a full-blown business, you still have to pay taxes. You still should separate your business income from your personal income. You should still have, separate bank accounts, a separate credit card. You should still do those things differently, because the last thing that we want is for our graduates to come out of our classes being audited by the IRS and owing a whole bunch of money because they never reported the income that they got. Too often, they also think because they're paid in cash that they don't have to report it. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, report that income.
Well, and on top of that, it also helps with tracking and understanding your cash flow. So to know, like, maybe I'm spending too much money on these things and I need to rearrange how I'm spending those dollars. But if you're mixing that money with your personal money, taking that cash and turning around and spending it real quick and not really documenting it and tracking it, then you don't really have a clear idea of where you stand financially and what money you really have to work with to pay for whatever it is your business it needs to run.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And then honesty moment, we all know that most of us started our gigs and our side hustles because we weren't making enough money.
Right, exactly.
And so we use that money to pay our bills. And so that's part of that. We aren't here to pressure you or to make you feel guilty about where you are. We just want to make you more successful by becoming more accountable with what it is that you're doing. And because that's the name of the game. That's how many of our parents, our forefathers, got on their feet, because they were selling stuff out of their trunk,
innovative,
out of
creative,
the trunks
all of that,
of their car, or they were cooking meals and inviting folk over. Hey, I'm selling dinners.
That's right.
Dinners all day.
So that's a reality in our community that I feel like we should never feel guilty about. But at the same time, we do have to become more responsible with what it is that we're doing with that side hustle or that gig.
I love that you said selling dinners. I remember we had two brothers on my street. They were both called Mr. Dean. One sold pop and candy, and the other one sold fruits and vegetables, but they were amazing. I want to get to the money, though. How can we get to the money? Valeria, do you have opportunities, loans, anything like that people can access?
We do. We have several grants and things that come through, and we have somebody that's dedicated to that. Her name is Sylvia Jones Ham, and that's what she specializes in, is helping small businesses, minority business, women-owned businesses find the money. She has grant programs. She runs webinars. She has workshops that talk about where's the money, and she does workshops every month or so where she talks about grant programs, what grants are out there, how to find grants, how to apply for grants, what's available, how do you walk through those steps. There's something called SMART that talks about the 5 things you need to do to prepare for a grant. And what I like about it is that it gives people those opportunities, and it works. We had a business recently that informed us that they attended one of the grant workshops, gathered all the information, took it back with them, found somebody happened to mention they were in need of money. They said, well, have you applied for any grants? They hadn't. So they worked with this other company, helped them fill out the grant that they needed, and they got the money. It was over $1 million that they got.
Wow, that's
because
nice.
He attended the workshop, got the information, passed it on to somebody else, helped them fill out the grant information, and they got the grant. And he was so excited because it made a difference. But there is money out there. You just have to know how to find it, and you have to do a little due diligence, but it's available. And the city has some funds available. There are some funds that we've made available through the African American Chamber and the Urban League. I think they work together on a grant program.
Lincoln and Gilbert.
Do you want to talk about that? Yeah.
Yes. So the African American Chamber has partnered with other entities in the same space, Mortar being one of them, Urban League, GCMI, and it's an initiative to grow small businesses, Black-owned businesses. And there were some grant opportunities provided to a lot of those businesses recently. Another round will be coming out hopefully soon. But you can apply for these grants, and to tie in the whole tax discussion is when a grant opportunity is provided for you, you have to have your financials in order. They're going to ask for these things. So you talk to business owners that don't have that there, and you're like, hey, there's this grant and this resource, and they have a barrier already in front of them immediately with that grant opportunity in front of them because they don't have their financials in order. So just to tie that in, you want to have that there because then you can apply and you don't have to worry about doing back-end work or filing old tax documents, and then you miss the deadline for that grant. So
you gotta stay ready, huh?
Yes, you got to stay ready. You have to. And at the African American Chamber, we have Jill McCulley, who is one of our Pivot business counselors. She is amazing when it comes to assisting businesses with going through the application process because it's intimidating. So that's another barrier that I see with business owners, and just applying for the grant is not understanding what you should put on how to answer some of these questions. So we'll help you through that process. We also have other grant writers that we can refer you to. The public library has grant writing assistance out there and available as well. So there are resources. There's money out there. Again, Lincoln and Gilbert being one of them. There's also Main Street Ventures is a funding program. Let's see, we're talking money, and people want to know where you can get these funds. There's also the Live Your Dream is a foundation that helps women-owned businesses. The Black Founder Fund Startup Grant. I believe Aviatra does some funding opportunities as well. You can find a lot of these funding opportunities on the African American Chamber newsletter.
Okay.
You can check that out on our link tree as well through our social media handles. You can engage and interact with our Pivot business counselors. All you have to do is set up an appointment. They'll do an assessment to see what you need and provide you with resources. And they also provide you with a list of grants that they keep their ear to the ground on what funding opportunities are out there, knowing that's one of the top requests from small business owners is where the money at.
Right.
And the best thing about a grant is it's free money. It is free money. It's not like a loan where you have to pay it back.
Right.
It's money that's out there. And what I was talking about, we have what we call Grant Writing 101.
Okay.
And we offer that like every other month or so. And you can check out our website as well, cincinnati-oh.gov/inclusion, and look for Grant Writing 101. The information is out there. You can contact Sylvia
What's Sylvia's last name again?
Jones Ham.
Ham, okay.
And she can get you that information. But there's money out there. And what I want to say is that through the Lincoln and Gilbert Fund, we had several of our certified businesses that were able to receive grant money from the Lincoln and Gilbert Fund. So they were able to get that funding because they did have their paperwork in order. They were
Right.
certified, so they had their paperwork in order. They were able to apply and get that grant money and be able to use it for what they needed it for. So it's working. Free money. Everybody wants free money.
Roycelle, do you want to add anything to it?
Yes, I do want to reiterate that we do want all of our entrepreneurs to get the money. That's our ultimate goal. The more money that you're seeking, the more you have to have your house in order. And everybody's looking for the money, but truth telling here, we oftentimes don't want to do the work that it takes to get the kind of money that we need. And part of, one of the things, I'm that person. I want us to know the truth so that the truth can set us free. And too often we run through programs because we're trying to get to the money, but we won't do the steps that we need to take to get us to that money.
Yes, solid plan, framework, all
Solid
of
plan, framework, having your paperwork in order, getting certified, being in business for more than 1 year. People think that because they've been in business for 2 days that they should get $50,000.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner out the gate.
Right. And so one of the things that we do at Mortar is we do offer small grant amounts up to $4,000 for those entrepreneurs, for those alumni entrepreneurs that need help. We take them through an application process, mostly so that they can become disciplined for when they are going to ask for the larger amount. So we'll give them grants for $2,000, for $4,000, free money, but they have to answer certain questions. They have to fill out a survey. They have to provide us with their certification, a W-9, all of the different things that the bank is going to ask you for if you go to a bank and ask for a loan. Or if you go and apply for a larger scale grant, they're going to ask for this documentation as well. They're going to ask for proof of business.
Results.
Yeah. What are your numbers? How many have you served? What just all of those various things. And so we offer the small grants, and then we have worked with Lincoln and Gilbert, the Urban League, as well to provide grants, and those are larger scale grants. But it's because we discipline our alumni first, like, hey, you can't even get this paperwork together. What makes you think you can go out and get that paperwork together? So we offer loans. We work with First Financial Bank to offer low interest loans. We're currently working with Community Credit Lab that is offering a no interest loan.
Oh, nice.
And so the more, if you need to do something to build up your storefront, or for construction, all of those different things. We are working with various partners to provide access to the money. We just are pleading with our entrepreneurs in all of our communities to get your stuff together. Please, ma'am.
I feel like that.
Please, sir. I'm sitting here like somebody's auntie. I'm Auntie Roycelle saying, honey, get your house
in
order. Please, ma'am, and please, sir.
But it's so true because they want, they want the money. They want to be certified. And when you go through the steps of saying, this is what you need in order to do it, and they don't have it, or they bring their stuff in and it's just in disarray. And you're like, okay, do you have this? And they're going, it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
You got to get it together.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's part of a training you have to get through. And what I tell people, once you get it together, keep it together.
Right.
Because you're going to
Maintain
need it. You're going to need it the next go round.
Right.
The same thing you're asking for, you're going to need again. And once you're certified, when your renewal comes up, you're going to need the same thing again. You're going to need your new tax information. Anything that's changed, you're going to need. Put it in that folder. You're going to need it again.
Right.
Organize thyself.
Yes. Or if you move, you're going to need that new lease agreement or whatever. Put it in that folder.
Right.
There are certain things, whether you get certified with the city, whether you get certified with the state, whether you get certified with federal government, whether you apply for a loan at this bank, whether you want to get a grant with Lincoln and Gilbert or whatever, for the most part, the same thing we're asking for, they're asking for. Put it all into one folder. Keep it together.
I would love to tap into that some more.
Sure.
So all of that is absolutely correct. You want to have it all together, and there are ways you can do that. And I always encourage businesses to start with working with our pivot business counselors. They're going to do an assessment. They're going to walk you through this. We just had a grant writing workshop with Dr. Valencia Moses. Shout out to Dr. V. And she gave some tips, like when you do a grant application, just one, take snippets of what your answers are in those questions and save them to use. Recycle, okay? Copy and paste is your friend. So that is one of the top tips that I remembered and took away from that is we do that in the workplace. Why reinvent the wheel when there's already things out there that you can tap into? Some businesses, they don't even know what the language should sound like. How should I answer that question? Come and see us. We can help you with that. We can provide you with assistance on what that language should look like. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time. You can also be savvy on Google. Google University exists, okay? You can look at samples of what other people's answers are. A lot of times you can find the answers right in your own business plan. If you created a business plan, some of that language can be copied and pasted in some of those answers and reused on multiple grant applications. These people aren't looking at, oh, did they answer the same thing on that grant and this grant? Use the same thing. You are just promoting and pushing your business and your agenda. Also, the documentation that you have, digitize it. Digitize it. So scan it. Phones, we live on our phones now.
Right.
They have so many tools and resources for business owners to utilize. Scan it, make it a PDF, sock it away into a folder, create a grant folder that you house all this information, like that was mentioned to when you have to do your certification again. You're going to apply for these grants again. Some of these grants are reoccurring, and you want to keep applying. If they say no, that's one no. Do it again when the opportunity presents itself. You never know. Tweak a little bit here. You're going to learn through the experience and process. Once you get one or two grant applications under your belt, then it's not as scary. It's not as intimidating. So reach out. The resources are out there. People can help you. I'm sure you know at least one person in your circle that has done a grant application that can sit down and say, hey, let's find the language that you need to get this in.
All right. So let's talk about certifications. But before we start there, Briston made a comment about cut and paste for grants and using that language. And that is so important. But I also want to say, have somebody review your grants. If you're consistently not getting grants, there's a reason. So you might want to have somebody review it, see what's not clear, and then make those changes so that you can get that money.
Can I offer something as well?
Sure.
And don't be afraid to ask the grantor for feedback
Yes.
on why didn't I get this grant, or what can you offer as a suggestion for when I apply the next time. Most of them are more than willing to provide that information to you.
I totally agree. All right, Valeria, who should be certified and how do you get certified?
I think anybody that wants their business to grow, wants the opportunity for people to know who they are. You never know who's looking for you until they're looking for you and they can't find you. So we certify all types of business. One of the things about the City of Cincinnati certification is it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. We have a reciprocity agreement with the state of Ohio for the MBE program. So if you're minority certified, you can then ask to be certified with the state. And for that first time around, you can get certified with the state for those first 2 years. And then you have to do a complete certification with the state when it comes up for renewal. But for that first 2 years, they'll accept our certification. What we do, saying that you are who you are, they'll accept that with the state. And vice versa. If you're certified with the state as an MBE, you can get certified with the city. We'll accept that certification, MBE certification, back with the City of Cincinnati. I think anybody should be certified. People also ask, I got certified, where's my contract? We can't guarantee contracts. And a lot of times you'll be in the database and we may not offer that type of service. The city might not, but other entities may be looking for what you do. We certify caterers and restaurants. That might not be something that the city can look for readily because we can't feed ourselves. Government regulations and things like that. However, we have a number of businesses and entities around Hamilton County that send us information and say, who do you have in your database that provides food or does catering? And so we send them the list because they've been vetted. So they come to us and ask us for the list. So I've sent a list out several times since January to different entities that have been looking for minority, women-owned businesses to do business with. So they're coming out of our database. So no, they might not have gotten a contract with the city, but they got the opportunity to do business out somewhere because they were in our database.
Nice.
So it's an opportunity, like I said earlier in the show, for you to be seen, for you to be found, for you to be discovered. We do certifications for small business, minority business, women-owned businesses. If you fit all of those categories, you can get all of those certifications. Whatever fits your fancy. If you're a minority-owned business, you can give minority, women, and small business. If you're just minority being male, you can do minority and small business. You can run the gamut. But it's an opportunity for you to be in the database for people to find you. And as I said, it's free. And then if you want to expand and get into the state certification, you want to do their alphabet soup, we send you over. We send you over to the African American Chamber because they handle the state certifications.
Okay.
We don't do state, we do Hamilton County, but we send them over to the African American Chamber. And vice versa, when they have somebody there and they want to get city certified, they send them to us. So like I said, we work together. We don't work against each other. We work collaboratively because that's the way opportunity happens. So I say anybody that does anything, if you want to get certified, get certified. We have people who do CPR training that get certified. And they get certified and then medical professionals are looking for them. Because hospitals and clinics and things, they need people who can provide that type of training. We have people who do lawn care, who do landscaping. We have engineers, we have architects, we have accountants.
Wow.
We have an array of people who are getting certified. Some contracts come up through the city, some may not, but there are other entities that are always reaching out to us, looking in our database.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Briston, really quickly, do you have anything to add? But really, I wanted to say, I feel like your mantra today is we work together. We're going to work together. We're going to get the job done.
We are. We're going to work together. We have to.
Yes.
And because you can't do it by one man's not an island, or however that says. We can't do it by ourselves. And we have truly found out, at least since I've been here, that working collaboratively really helps us grow. And we're doing, the Department of Economic Inclusion is doing great things. I mean, we offer all types of programs. We offer different types of workshops. We're doing wonderful things to help our certified companies grow. We have a conference coming up later in the year that we do every year. We have different workshops that we offer. We have different programs. We work one-on-one, as Roycelle was talking about, with our certified businesses to help them grow and prosper. But we also understand that working collaboratively with other entities also helps.
Makes a difference.
Makes a difference.
I totally agree. Briston, really quickly, what do you have to offer around certification?
So yes, if you want to get state certified, you want to come to the African American Chamber that houses the Minority Business Assistance Center. So shout out to Deborah Davis again. And they offer state certification for free. So if you go through them, that's how you get the free application. They have the Minority Business Enterprise, the EDGE certification, Women Business certification, Veteran business certifications. All you have to do is visit the website, mbaccincy.com, mbaccincy.com, fill out the form, and then someone will be in touch with you. And what makes this process so great is that everything is vetted first before you submit your application. So we can make sure you have the fullest success in getting approved for that certification. So what they'll do is they'll send you a checklist of all the documents that you need. You get those documents together, and then those documents will be reviewed, and then they'll say, okay, I think you're at the perfect stage. Let's go ahead and submit your application, and then you have the success of being certified. And certification is so important because there are funding opportunities out there that require it. So if you want to take advantage of those, then get certified. It's all a matter of having your documentation prepared, which we talked about that already. So there's levels and steps. You have your documentation together, then you're on track to apply for these grants and take advantage of these funding opportunities. On top of that, you have your certification that adds another layer of opportunities that only have certification requirements to take advantage of. So all of this ties in together. And yes, the mantra together. There's a reason behind it. There's a reason why we're all sitting here together. We all work closely together. We have our own niche area, but we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can share in this, and we encourage it. So please go get certified, get your documentation together, take advantage of these resources out there, reach out and engage with these organizations that are here to help you. I can't stress that more.
Awesome. So Roycelle, really quickly, you've been talking about a ministry today too, and that's keep your house in order, or get your house in order, keep it in order, and have it stay in order. What are some tips around marketing for businesses? How can they go about adding that to their house and keeping that in order?
Well, one of the things that I've found is that most people, especially nowadays, are very savvy with marketing. They are on Facebook, they are on Instagram. They know the quick fixes about how to advertise their business, and I've been amazed by it. But what they aren't looking at is how to dig deeper, to grow those numbers, and to win, if you will. And sometimes you cannot be afraid to hire an expert.
Yes, definitely.
Or at least talk to someone that knows more than
you. Exactly.
Because and you don't necessarily have to pay for it. If you get on Facebook and be like, hey, how do I get my numbers up on Facebook? People are more than willing to provide that information. And one thing marketing-wise that is greater, I think, than all of it is word of mouth.
And reputation and credibility. Yes.
If you don't have the money to ask an expert, or you're not savvy to do all of those things, if you're putting out a product that people love, if your customer service is excellent, word of mouth. I talked about my business earlier. I do taxes and bookkeeping. All of my business has been word of mouth. I have not had to advertise. Everybody that I've served has told a family member, their friend, their dog, their mom. All of my business has been word of mouth to where it's been back of mind to do, marketing.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, how big do I really want to be?
Yeah.
I work a full-time job. How big do I want to be for real?
Right.
So it's one of those things. Know what it is that you're going after. If you don't know, don't be afraid to hire an expert or to even get a mentor that can walk you through how they advertise to be able to grow business. I also want to give a shout out to both the African American Chamber and to the city of Cincinnati. But especially
You guys love each other.
but especially the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County, y'all, because it has not always been easy to be certified with the city. Let's tell the truth. Let's shame the devil. It has not for African Americans. It has not. And I would say at least in the last 5 years, the city of Cincinnati has been on purpose trying to include us in the certification process. So I applaud you guys. You guys are doing a great job because it has not been easy over the years because they say they were going to include and it never happened. Right. So I applaud you guys.
Yeah, I believe it because every time we go back to Valeria, she's talking about we working together. So I know like that's true to her heart.
It is. It's intentional. And people ask me all the time, they said, you really are passionate about it. And I am. I'm passionate about it because I want to see our people succeed. I want to see, and I'm doing all I can to help make sure our people succeed because I see what we do. I see the value. I see the talent out there. And I hear it when they say, I just want a chance. Just give me a chance. And so I'm doing all I can to help make that happen. I want to help make that happen. Now, if I help you get there, and, what do they say? You can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah.
If I take you there and you don't put your mouth in, don't put your finger in, don't dip, then...
Something, right. Put something in.
Then that's on you. But I'm trying to get you there. Right. I'm trying to get you... I'm trying to get you there. And I'm just... Because I want to see you succeed. I want to see our businesses grow because there is so much talent out there.
I agree.
So much. And we just have to grab onto it. We've come a long way. We still got a long way to go.
Right.
I'm going to get off my mountaintop.
That's okay.
To add on.
Yeah, just one quick tip around marketing. So we've talked about social media, word of mouth.
Social media, word of mouth, networking events.
There you go.
African American Chamber has a monthly networking event. It's every third Thursday of the month at Esoteric Brewery. We bring in a speaker. They speak for about 20 minutes, and then it's open networking. We have so many success stories that come from those networking events. It takes one time to connect with one person, and that could change your life. So that I can't stress that more. Go to networking events. Go out there. If you need help, I don't know what to say, you're maybe a little introverted, we understand. So we provide business etiquette boot camps to help you with that. And then you can go as far as we partner with Adsposure. So if you notice the bus wraps and transit wraps, that's a way to market your business. You can sign up to be a speaker at events, plug yourself. For people that have products, send sample products to different organizations that that will market, that have a high following, and then put a card in there. Like I challenge you to share my products, open it up. Everybody's opening products up on video and
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
like that is a business.
Yes.
So use those different avenues and channels, and then talk to these kids. If anybody know marketing and PR, it's these kids.
I know that's right. I know that's right. We have words of wisdom, and we're going to start with Roycelle. Roycelle, can you give them your contact information? How can they reach you? And then any lasting words you want everybody to know?
I can be reached at wearemortar.com. That's our website, or my email is Roycelle, ROYCELLE at wearemortar. That's spelled MORTAR.com. Last words of wisdom is get your house in order. We want you to be great out in these streets.
Yes.
And so in order for you to be great, you have to do great with your paperwork, be administrative giants out there. And we look forward to seeing you at one of our classes.
I love that. I also like that you said hire someone with expertise if you don't know. With All in Cincinnati, they talked about expanding, doing more communications, being on social media. I was like, I haven't been on social media in 12 years. So I hired a director of communications because I wanted that expertise. I didn't want to be on social media posting the wrong thing. So I hired someone who had that skill level. So don't be afraid to hire somebody who has experience in what you need. So I love that you said that too. All right, Valeria.
All right, to get in touch with the Department of Economic Inclusion for the City of Cincinnati, you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Our website is cincinnati-oh.gov/inclusion. Our number is 513-352-3144. Our email address is DEI@cincinnati-oh.gov. I think that's it. Yeah. I had to think about that. Yeah.
You gave everything but the fax number.
Yeah. And you can find me there. If you can't find me, my number is 513-352-3156, 513-352-3156. You can find me anytime, anywhere. I always answer my phone. My last word of wisdom is it's never too late. Get certified. Get into our database. Let us know how we can help you. The Department of Economic Inclusion's number one goal is to be a catalyst to help companies grow, especially minorities, small business, women-owned businesses, to grow and prosper here in the Cincinnati-Hamilton County area. We want to be there for you.
Beautiful. And Briston.
All right. So you can reach us over, we have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, our website. For the social medias, we have at the Cincinnati AA Chamber. And then our website is cinciaachamber.com. I can be reached at Briston at African-Americanchamber.com. And then our website, I already gave you that, but you can sign up for the Chamber to market your business through our social media handles. So that's another little plug there for marketing and PR. And then our number is 513-751-9900. Come and engage with the African American Chamber. Come and get the 360 experience. Everyone I talk to feels invigorated and ready to take on the world when they leave our presence. We have a new, vibrant staff there that's ready to help you. So come and engage with us.
I love that. And your words of wisdom?
Well, that was my words of wisdom, but I always have extra. Stay diligent.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, stay diligent. Work hard for yourself. Nothing's going to come easy. None of us got here through just given something handed to you. You're going to have to work hard. That's my word of wisdom.
I love that.
Yes.
And one quick thing, too, I wanted to highlight. When I asked you about marketing tips, you mentioned go present. That's huge. Just presenting on your business can get you so many networking opportunities, and you can actually be paid for that. So it serves two roles. So go speak, go talk about your business. Just get out there. All right, ladies, this has been wonderful. Thank you, Queens, for being on the All in Cincinnati radio show.
This was great.
And join us next week.
We're rolling.